Good morning, YouTube. I am Bearded Ink, and we have another tutorial today. OBS Portable Mode. This should be a pretty quick one, but we are going to cover everything. I'm going to show you how to download OBS properly and get it set up so that you can have a portable version of OBS. And we'll also explain along the way why you would want to do this and best practices for a portable mode in OBS, as well as a few other features. So what do you say we just get started right away, huh? All right, so the first thing we need to do is understand that OBS Portable Mode is its own standalone program. So when you go to install, you're not going to actually install anything, unlike the version of OBS that you probably have now, where it's in your program files. There's folders in your app data directory. There's going to be none of that. This is a self-contained version of OBS, and it is super simple. So the first thing we're going to do, obviously, you're going to go to the obsproject.com website here. So what we want to do is, instead of clicking your version here, Windows, Mac, or Linux, because these are going to take you to the exe installers, we want to go to the download up here in the top right of the website next to the home button. We're going to click on that. Here you would pick your version of which one you want to download. So if you're on Mac or Linux, you would obviously click those. We're going to stay with Windows here because that's what I'm currently running, unfortunately. And then you see here we have options on the right hand side. So you can download the installer, you can download the installer via BitTorrent, or you can download a zip file. There's also get it from the Microsoft Store, and there's the versions on Steam. And if you want a previous release, so if you need an older version for reasons such as maybe because of the current versions that have discontinued the use of certain GPU encoders, if you're still using an older GPU, you may need to get those. You can view the previous releases, find the release that you need, and I will go ahead and show you those as well. But first thing, for most of us who just need the current version, we want to get the zip folder. So we're going to click on download zip. It's going to take you to a new page. It should automatically start the download. I'm just going to put this on my desktop. So we're going to save there. Now, while we have that going, let me show you real quick what I meant if you need to get an older version. So say you're running version 29 or 28 and you want to stick with that version, that's fine. You're going to open the GitHub with previous releases, and this will take you to their previous release. So it'll show you the latest release at the top, currently 31.0.3. And if you scroll down, all of the different versions will be there, every minor and update, every beta, everything. So you're just gonna have to scroll through and go to pages until you find the version you want. So for example, if we wanted version 29, we're obviously gonna have to go way down. Probably page 3 would be my guess. We'll find it eventually. Here we go. Here it is, 29.1.3, the latest of the 29 versions. And then what you're gonna do, once you find your version, you're going to scroll down in that section until you find assets, which is going to be at the very bottom. Usually it's minimized. So we're going to click on assets. And then what you want to do is scroll through here until you find your version. So there's the Mac OS. The zip file here is the Windows version. And then of course you have the project names for other versions, the source codes, whatever. And then you just want to grab the zip file there. Again, if you download or if you click on it, it will open up the downloader and you can save that version file. Okay, so that's how you get an older version. Everything else is going to be exactly the same. All right, so we don't need the website anymore. So we're going to go ahead and close that. So now we have up here, we have our version that we've downloaded as a zip file. And all we want to do is you want to unzip this file, and usually I tell you to put it somewhere permanent. In this case, I'm going to tell you right now just to unpack it to your desktop. And there's a few reasons, because of depending on how your zip files work, or if you don't know, if you have 7-zip, WinRAR, or the built-in one for Windows, there's different versions, different ways that they unpack. And some of them will put them in their own contained folder, and other ones will unzip everything all out. Right, all of the files as if they weren't contained at all. and you want to avoid that. So the easiest way to do that is just to put it on your desktop. And that way, if you do get the extraction method where it puts everything out there instead of in a self-contained folder, you can easily delete it and try again, because we want that self-contained folder. So for me, let me zoom in so you can see. I'm just going to right click on Windows here and use the built-in Windows extraction with extract all. And then it's going to come up with this and ask me where I want to put it. I'm just going to say yes on the desktop. And we're going to go ahead and show the extracted files when complete. So this will take just a couple seconds. And while it's going on, it creates a new folder here on my desktop that everything is going to be contained in. So again, if you are doing this process and you start seeing individual files show up, then you've done it wrong. Now, it's not the end of the world. You can either delete all of those files and then try to unpack again, or you can just create a directory and then move all of those individual files into that directory. Okay, and then as it gets complete, it opens up a new directory here. And then you see inside we have the plugins, the data, and the bin folder. So before we ever open OBS at all for the first time, we want to add a file to this first directory. So right inside the main directory that we've created, we're going to just right click and we're going to go to new. And then we want to create a text document. And this is the important part, right? We're going to have this text document created. And as you can see, it pops up with the .text here because I have my extensions shown. If yours just says new text document, but does not say .text, the .text is already there. And I will show you how to see that when we're done. You're going to name it OBS _portable _mode.txt. So you'll see that on the screen there. And just like I have it here. You don't need to do anything to the text file. You don't need to open it. You don't need to add any content to it. It's a blank file. And if you don't see the extensions, you can go up here to your view window and you can click on show and then file name extensions and make sure that there's a check mark there. So if we were to uncheck that, you'll see here, it just says OBS Portable Mode. Now there's no .txt. It does say that it is a text file, but this is usually off by default in Windows. So you want to come up here, click view, show, file name extensions, and then you'll be able to see it there. So if this says OBS Portable Mode.text, it's wrong. And you need to delete one of those .text. Okay, very, very important. But that's all you have to do. Now you have a version of OBS that is in portable mode. So I'm going to close this real quick and we're going to zoom back out and I'm going to show you why we did this to our desktop. So now I have this here and I'm going to go ahead and rename this because this is OBS Studio 31.0.2-Windows, right? That's a really long file name. So I'm going to right click here. I'm going to rename this to OBS _port. You know, you can name it whatever you want. It doesn't matter. But this entire folder now is our OBS install. It's everything we need and everything we have and everything we're going to eventually add, including our scene collections, our profiles, everything, right? It does not store your images and video files and things like that unless you tell it to, but we'll get into that in a minute. So how do we open it now? We're going to go back into this folder. We're going to go into the bin directory, just double click in there. You'll find the 64-bit, you double click into there, and then we're going to find the OBS 64.exe. Again, this is why it's important to show the extensions. So if you don't have that, it'll just say OBS 64. It'll have the little OBS icon, and then you're looking for an application. Okay. And that's what we're going to double click on. We'll go ahead and do that. I will zoom back out for you. You may get a Windows pop-up. You may not. But when it does open, you're going to see this. We do have a new version here. I'm going to just go ahead and say, remind me later. And then it starts with the auto configuration wizard. I'm just going to cancel this. You can run through that, but here you go. You're now running OBS in portable mode. And if we zoom back in, you'll see at the very top, it'll even tell you that we are running OBS 31.0.2 in portable mode. with an untitled profile, and our scene collection is also untitled, and that's just these guys here. And if you want to make a new profile, a new scene collection, you can do that, and it'll have all of that information. But as you can see, everything is here. We can add scenes, we can add sources, we can do all kinds of things that we want to do. I'm just going to go ahead and say here, we're just going to capture itself. Just so you can see that there's something there, right? So we have all this stuff going on. It's a full version of OBS. You can come up here and go to the settings. You can go in and change your appearance. You can connect it to your streaming service. You can change all of your settings like we have in our OBS setup videos. If you need to check those out and remember what you need to do to set all of these things. But basically that's it. You have a version of OBS that is portable. So how can we use this, right? Well, one, I use portable mode for instances like this, right? I'm running my main OBS version, but when I want to show you something inside OBS, I open up a portable version. And as you can see, it runs just fine. But this way, when I'm running this portable mode, I can show you things for the tutorial in the portable version without having to screen grab my version and do that infinity mirror thing with the cameras and the backgrounds and the cursors and shit that makes it look all crazy. This is a clean install, so we can use it for troubleshooting and testing. So if there's something currently going on with your version of OBS and you don't really want to mess with things too much, right? You can download a portable mode version of your exact same version, right? And we showed you how to get the version that you need earlier. And then you can, like, if you suspect maybe it's one of your plugins that's creating the problem, you can install your plugins to portable mode one by one. And then once the problem that you're seeing in your version is recreated, you know which version it is or which plugin it is or whatever the case may be. But everything is just self-contained now. So for example, let me show you a couple of other best practices. If we have a plugin that we want to install, so like the Move Transition plugin, right? So once you get a plugin, then what we want to do here, let me just go ahead and minimize some of this stuff down. The folder that you have your portable version in, you're going to go ahead and open that up, and then you're going to extract your plugin. And again, when you get the plugin, let me bring this back up here. Let's just do the Move Transition. So we're going to type in Move for OBS. We'll get the Move Transition here, one of the more popular ones from Exeldro. You're going to click on the little download button. And again, just like with the portable mode now, you do not want to get the installer. You want to get the zip folder because the installer is going to self-install all of the files to your C drive program's OBS, right? And we don't want that. Now you can move it, but it is just much easier to get the zip file. So we're just going to go ahead and download that zip file for that Move Transition to our desktop. Okay, and then we're the same thing. We're just going to extract it right to our desktop, and it doesn't take very long. And so you see inside all of the plugins, there's going to be an OBS plugins and a data directory. And what we want to do is we want to take our portable mode with all of our stuff in it. And all you're going to do is drag and drop and move everything over. It overwrites what's there with what's needed. And now when we open this version of OBS again, we will have the Move Transition plugin already there installed. And just to show you, we can go to filters here, and then I show you there's the Move filters, all of them there for the Move Transition plugin that we just installed, right? So you have a fully functional version of OBS that you can do a lot of things with. Now, if you are one of those ones that has multiple computers, maybe you do work on your laptop and you have a desktop, or maybe you still run a computer at your mom and dad's house or something, I don't know, whatever the case is, right? What you can do, let's go ahead and close OBS, is you can then put this entire folder right, with all of its plugins, all of your scene collections, everything, onto a thumb drive. And let's just take a look at the properties here. You'll see we're looking at about 500 megabytes. And now this is only with nothing installed, obviously the one plugin. So this will grow, right? So you want to keep an eye on it. But it is pretty small. So you can put this on a thumb drive and then move it. And if you're going to do that between computers, one thing I recommend that you do is in the portable mode, you do some organization here. So what I would do is I would create new directories, right? And this would be, I would call this something like assets. And then this is where you would keep all of your files for this version of OBS. So inside, maybe we would make a new folder for graphics, right? And then you can make a new folder for sounds. You could make a new folder for like your scene elements, right? This would be things like your background images, your webcam frames, you know, things like that. But you can get as detailed as you want, but everything is then contained inside here. So let's say, for example, let me just open a new one here in a new window. I have some graphics just to show you what I'm talking about. We'll just go here and we'll just grab, we'll go grab a picture and I'll just throw that in there. Okay. So now if I go back into my portable mode here and I go to the bin folder and we open OBS again, and I want to add a picture to my scene here, right? So I'm going to add an image. What I'm going to do is in the image file, I'm just going to browse to that folder. So there's my assets, my graphics, there's the picture, right? And now it is now linked to this OBS portable mode, right? But as you can see, it is fully functional, fully featured again. And then once you have everything set up, and as long as you do the best practices like I have here with having your assets all self-contained, all you have to do is move that one folder to your thumb drive and then use it wherever you would like to from whatever computer at any time. And you don't have to worry about multiple installs and keeping them updated. But yeah, basically that's it. It's portable mode. It's super, super simple. It is just this one text file. And then there's going to be those of you that, well, yeah, there's the executable method that you can use too. And you are correct. You can come into the bin folder and find your OBS 64, and we can go to properties, and then we can come in here to the target, and you can type in commands here. But I have found that that doesn't always work. And there have been bugs with that on various versions, and I haven't tested it on the 31s yet, but that's just because I got used to doing the text file method, which is super, super simple, super easy, as you saw, and has never failed, ever, not once. As long as this text file is in the right place, which I just showed you where to put that, then you shouldn't have any problems at all. And again, when you have it open, just verify that it says portable mode and you know that you're running the correct version. Okay. So there you have it. OBS portable mode in full, in detail, with some best practices, and super, super simple. If you have any more questions about portable mode, its use or best practices, leave a comment down below, and we will get those answered for you. You can come over to the Discord where we have fully featured help sections there, and you can open a new question over there as well and get help from myself or the community. Or you can join us here Saturday when we go live on YouTube and Twitch to answer your streaming related questions during the Tavern Talk streams. That's usually every Saturday around 2 p.m. Central. If you liked what you saw in the video and you learned a little bit of something, give me a little bit of a thumbs up. It makes me feel good. And if you're new to the channel, hi, how you doing? I'm Bearded Ink. We do tutorials here. And if you like what you see and you want to know when I post new tutorials or when we do go live on the Saturdays, make sure you click that little subscribe button down below and turn the notifications on so that you can be notified when I do post or go live. Otherwise, guys, thank you for being here. And I hope that it was really helpful for you. And again, if you have a use for portable mode that maybe is unique, or you have found something that you like using portable mode over a standard install for, leave that in the comments below to let other people that may be on the fence about using portable mode know some of the other aspects and features of doing so. It'd be a great help to the community, and we'll come in and check out why you use portable mode, and maybe we can put that into our best practices moving forward in the future. But that's it for this one. We're going to keep it short. So until next time, guys, thank you for being here. Remember to take care of yourself, because you matter, and we'll see you in the next one. Until then, love, peace, and chicken grease.